and win the game, but especially the way we played, the way we dominated the game, and the way we controlled the game, the way we won it. I said before the game, and a lot of people can describe the day that we had last year here as a bad day. And for me, it was a building character day. And to build character and build personality in a team, you have to go through those moments. You have to use them in the right way. Football gives you an opportunity again. And today, I think we showed that there was still something in our stomachs.
It feels amazing. A very good win. A very good performance from the team. A very good growth from Fabio. He deserves it. He's been being brilliant, and he deserves it.
Thank you. I'm very happy to score my first goal, but the most important thing was the victory, and now we start good, but we need to keep going.
For me, the performance was not that. It was not 10 out of 10, and we need to beat a team like Arsenal. We need to hit a 10 out of 10 performance, and Arsenal need to drop a tiny bit. That didn't happen today, but the performance, I think, would have caused a lot of teams in the Premier League trouble, and we could have got a win or a draw out of what we did today. I think we played 7 games. I think overall we performed well in all 7 games, and it's about that consistency, and sometimes it pays off, and it's a 4-0 win, and it looks a little bit even more fantastic than it is against Man United, and then we lose 3-0 to Arsenal and look a little bit worse than it actually is, but it's about the consistency week in, week out in performance, and that's what I think we do well.
I'm not sure either of you agree that it was as close as Thomas Frank maybe suggested there, because Arsenal were dominant from start to finish.
Yeah, they had a point to prove after what happened to them there last season, and Mikel Arteta mentioned it there in his interview. They had a different attitude, different mentality, which in turn gave them a different result. Only 4 of the players started today that were there last season, and you could tell, and there's no doubt about it, that they were motivated because of what he said and because of what happened, and they were at it right from the very first minute. They were not going to give Brentford any time to settle whatsoever. They got the ball, they closed them down. They got done, remember, last year on the long throw-in. Look at the difference now in the hunger and the desire. They're a bigger team now. As I said, they've got a better attitude now. They've got characters in there who will want to compete, who don't mind a scrap, who don't mind going in there and putting their head in there where they have to, and it might actually hurt them. And they won every single battle. They closed down when they had to. They had players who were prepared to do this when Brentford were on the attack, to go and close them down. And if the first one didn't get it, then his mates there also backing them up. In contrast, have a look at Brentford. They just weren't at the races. Arsenal didn't give them time, but then Brentford sat off them. They give them time. You give good players time on the ball to take a touch, to pick their head up, to choose their pass. And if you do that, you're going to get punished, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, you can't do that. 4 or 5 passes there without anyone really getting close. Dictating again in the midfield, no one getting near them. De Silva there dropping off. Pick your head up, Jack. I mean, what a ball that is. Yeah. The great run, fantastic header, and that's what Arsenal were all about. OK, they tried to close them down there. This is another goal that Arsenal scored. Look at the confidence, but also Brentford are not getting near them. It's jogging. It's just not quite there at all. And again, they get punished. And Fabio Vieira, pick your head up, pick your spot. Full Premier League debut. What a goal for him. So much better from a different team with a much.
And there are several players that we could pick out. A nice line from Gabriel giving it back to Ivan Toney, who did nice kickabout with the boys last season, and that's the response from Gabriel. You could have picked out several Arsenal players, couldn't you? Granit Xhaka today typified that drive and that intensity.
Well, Granit Xhaka's a player that, for me, we're finally seeing him maybe playing like we see him play for Switzerland, playing in a position that suits him, playing more offensively, and he's playing with authority, you know, and confidence. And when you look at what he's doing now, you know, the way he's playing forward, when he's getting the ball, he gets himself in a position where he's got time on the ball. Because when you look at Granit Xhaka and the problems he's had is that when he gets on the ball, he's not really got that skill to get past people or the pace. So if you get him in these kind of positions here where he can look up, see what's going on, he's got players in front of him, he's very, very dangerous. Because for me, I think he's got easily one of the best left foots in the Premier League, given the opportunity. And when you watch him here, given the licence to get forward, run forward, I think Gabriel Martinelli probably should have done better with that, but maybe he kind of rushed the shot. He's got this in him, gets himself back, breaks up the play, and he was doing that a lot today. Again, look at him in this situation here. Time. You can't give him this time. And like Al said, you know, he's always looking, like Al said, Brentford were not at it, but Arsenal were all over him. He's looking both sides to see who's coming because he knows where his weakness is. When he's got time, like we said, that's just a great ball. Yeah. That's a fantastic ball. Loses it there, but then he sets the tempo in what Arsenal are doing when you look at the way he's getting it back, winning it back. You know, again, gets in this situation, watch him. Super stuff, good play, and then bam, gone. That's not what he used to do. Yeah. That wasn't what Granit Xhaka used to do. He'd be back in the latter stage of the pitches down the last third there, and he'll be somebody that wouldn't be getting involved. Look at him getting back, cutting things out.
It's virtually box to box, isn't it?
Absolutely.
In that, rather than being either a single pivot or a double pivot or dropping in at left back sometimes, he's now got a bit more freedom.
And what you can see is he's somebody that with the left foot that he's got, in those offensive areas, Chappers, he can find the pass. He's not afraid to put the pass in. So with the goal, I'm pleased for him because I was one of his staunchest critics because I thought with him playing that position like he was, we weren't getting the best out of him. We didn't see the best Granit Xhaka, and now we are.
We've looked at Gabriel Jesus a few times on this show already this season, but as you two said to me in the office, you're both Premier League Hall of Famers, so you're entitled to analyse him again.
And I make no apology for highlighting him again because he's the game changer for Arsenal for me. He's the one that sets the tone from the front. Defenders, as we know, hate players that are prepared to do that prepared to run in behind and make it very difficult for the defenders. He's the one that starts the closing down. I've already showed this once, but his movement, then the ability to get around that and then guide it back across goal, which is what you have to do. Bringing players into the game, keeping hold of that ball when your team need to start that build-up, and his touch, technique and control, give, go, and all of those things I thought were superb. Really unlucky not to get on to get 2 or 3 goals, actually. Similar thing again. He doesn't quite win it, looking for it in behind, but his attitude to say, OK, that's fine, I'll get it back and I'll win it back. And it's for something similar here. Again, that ball in behind doesn't quite happen for him here, but he doesn't give up. And as I said, right at the beginning, I said he's the one that sets the tone.
Yes.
And I think it's him that's starting that off. And everyone, I think, will look at him and think, OK, well, he's had that success at Manchester City. He now wants to take that attitude into this Arsenal team, and he's made a huge difference for that team.
And what a lucky charm he is as well when he scores. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's a phenomenal stat. It surprised us all when we saw that. Won 47 and drawn 3 of the games that he has scored in. That's some unbeaten run.
Wow.
Just a word on Ethan Nwaneri, who came on at the age of 15 years and 181 days.
I'm so proud of that for Arsenal, for Per Mertesacker and what they're doing. Mikel, Edu. The thing with him is to get in at that age, you'd think that, is that kind of some kind of like stunt, what they're trying to do? Those people, Mikel, Edu, Per Mertesacker, they're not putting him in for any joke. That team has got no fat. They're not going to bring people in just for the sake of it. They think very highly of him. He's playing for the under-18s when he was 14. He's somebody that they think very highly of. And what I think that does, it sends out a massive message. No matter how young you are, you go to that academy, you've got a chance of playing in that first team.